when you find out what your calling is, not somebody else's calling, you will have success in that.
Yeah.
That's like with this podcast that we started, Dusty Boots podcast. We sort of had a goal of what we wanted, and then as we got started and started to get our feet, we just fell into the place we fell in.
Yeah.
We didn't push. We didn't have a goal like we want to be here, or do this or that.
Yeah.
It was just we started, and then as we grew, we just fell into the right positions. What we're in now.
Started as a stump and has just grown into a million
so
branches.
tell me about that, because I don't know much about both of your backgrounds.
Yeah.
How did this all come
So
together?
I'm just a chippy, a builder from Ballarat, Victoria. So
Hey, chippies, you know.
carpenter.
Yep.
So
The backbone.
Yeah, backbone.
They are the backbone of
Yeah. So I've done that for like over 10 years now. So that's just been my life. But in the background of that, I've run events like Kingston Rodeo, which is just outside of Ballarat where we're from.
Yep.
So I ran that for 4 years with a few other guys. So I was right into that event scene of all that. And then I sort of felt just country music love all the time. So then it's just like one after the other at concerts. Like I say to these boys, I remember like I was taking days off work where I was going to like Luke Combs and Darius Rucker in Melbourne. The next night it was like Lee Bryce and Kit Moore. The next night it was like for like 3 days straight, just like country.
He told his boss
And you're
it
like,
was
I need to
sick,
get
but
paid for doing this. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just sort of fell into the country loving sort of thing, and then I started a country clothing brand, Avenue of Country, which I did for about 5 years, and I didn't really fall out of love with it. I told myself I was too busy, so I just couldn't do it. So I sort of fell a little bit out of love with it.
You're
And
too
then I
busy
was
then.
like, yeah, and then I was too busy then, and Charles, my wonderful girlfriend, and we had the kids and that, and I was like, I'm just going to like take the foot off the clothing thing, just sort of disappear out the back door with that, and then I was like, I'm going to start a podcast. So I
I bought a Rodecaster.
yeah, I literally told her one day I brought a Rodecaster, and she looked at me. She's like, "What the hell's a Rodecaster?" And I was like, "Oh, it's to do like a podcast." And she's like, "You're gonna start a podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah." And everyone that knows me knows that I can talk with a mouthful of marbles underwater.
Yeah, they
So-
call it the gift of the gab.
Yeah, so I was like, "This is perfect." My parents are both like, "Oh, you can talk." So, so then
Oh,
I brought
shit.
the Rodecaster, and then then Bill.
Yeah, so I've sort of grown up sort of singing just
Yeah.
around the family and all that.
Yeah.
And then started posting videos on TikTok of just me singing country music and all that sort of stuff. And then last year I was actually on Australian Idol.
Yeah.
And that's where I started doing pub gigs around town and doing all these events. I opened for Shannon Knoll and Ballarat. And
Shannon Knoll?
Yeah, Knowlesy. Yeah, that was pretty cool. And then I actually sang the national anthem at this podcast event that I did last year, and then that's where how did you?
I just sort of Billy. So obviously from Ballarat.
We have no idea. We never met each
Sort
other.
of knew each other, and then like sort of knew who each other were, but just
Yeah.
never really like met and went and hung out and had a beer
Yeah.
together. So it was sort of
Yeah.
just the old. I'm someone that if you don't ask, you don't know, and I've always been like that. And I don't know if that's something I've learned off my parents or just learned off people around me. If you don't ask, you don't know. Like
Yeah.
you can ask one question that can get you so far in life, and it's all it
100%.
takes.
It's only gonna be yes or no. So.
And like that, like I can be shy at times, but it's just get out there, shake someone's hand, and you talk, and you never
For
know where
sure.
it's going to lead to.
Yep.
Like you don't know. So I just sort of just got Billy's number off one of my mates, and I was just like, hey, look, I've got this Rodecaster. It's been sitting here for like 6 months gathering dust. Sort of want to do a podcast, country like music sort of thing, country lifestyle, farm, whatever it's going to be. We had, as I said, we just sort of fell in place once we started because we didn't have too much of a plan of what we were going to do.
Yeah.
We just sat down and just literally said, let's talk. Like, just let's get a start.
yeah,
So
let's start.
then Bill come around. We did it at my house in a little tiny studio,
Yeah.
probably smaller than this room.
Pissed off your missus.
Yeah, I was like, Charles, we started and we did it in there, and it was fine. When we started, we were probably real quiet and didn't know how to speak in that. But then we decided,
A
like,
few weeks in, we started doing like a poll song where like listeners would select, vote out of 2 songs each week for me to sing to open the show. So then we started doing that, and here's me singing at like 11 o'clock at night, waking all the kids up and shit.
and it'd be like Oscar and Sadie both be asleep, and we'd be in this like our studio, which was in the middle of the house, and then.
Ain't no love.
Yeah, he's in the middle, and like he's not singing it quiet. He's like right into it, like he's in
Yeah.
the middle of a pub.
Yeah.
You just see the
You
door
always
open,
gotta
and
give your
Charles and
100%.
she'd be just staring at us like, "Get loud, boys." So then we moved on from there, and we grew and grew over the last 11 months, I think it's been.
I think 11
10
months.
Yeah.
Now we've got
So-
our own studio
Yeah.
set up at my joint, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Our own very own space.
It's a very unique
Yeah.
space sort of thing. So you got to start somewhere. And you would have
Yeah,
been
you
saying,
do.
you just
Yeah.
got to start.
Yeah.
You just got to get out there and yarn. So we
Yeah.
just did that. We just started in the little room, and then we just got to the point where there's more camera gear. You know, it's like more microphones, and the
Yeah.
room was just getting more and more compact.
Yeah.
And we just made the decision, right, if we're going to do it, let's do it. So we brought, it's like 6 metre by 3 metre studio. And instead of just buying it and just getting it put there, what we did is we got everyone that was involved in it to come, and we all built it together, sort of like a big community of everyone that's involved in a podcast. Because we do
Made a vlog out of it. So
we do. Okay, our Friday show is just country music. It's what we love, what we talk about. But we throw a Wednesday show in there just to get rid of like the shit talk and funny stuff and all that sort of that. All in that. And we have like a footy segment, which Nezza is like our footy correspondent. So he talks about like AFL footy, twos footy, like country footy and all that. So we throw that in there, and we've got 4 or 5 different segments of people ringing in. We've got a bloke from UK, Tommy the Pommy.
Pommy's picks.
Pommy's picks, he rings in. We've got an older fella about Jeffy.
Jeffy rings up dad songs, so any older songs from the 90s or something.
So we've got heaps of different little segments. So when we built
pretty good because we like cover a whole range of country music.
Yeah. So when we built this studio, we were like, let's build it with everyone. Let's get everyone there and build it. And then we just sort of had it, and it was just a big white box, and we're like, what are we going to do in here? And then it was like, we built it all one day, and the next day it was like, let's put iron on the wall. Let's put this here. We had VB Commodore seats that were all welded up by BT.
Awesome.
And we had them in there, and they like had them on spinny chairs. And then we're lucky enough that BT made us boys like the back of a ute tray. So it's got all lights on it with a Dusty Boots number plate. So that's actually like my desk that I sit on.
So how long did it take for you guys to bring in sponsors?
We sort of never really chase them really hard. It's just you get to the point where people start to notice who you are, and then they start to come on board.
So have you quit your job now?
Nah.
But the goal is...
Oh, well, I have, but that's because I was going to start uni.
But you're still playing gigs and stuff.
Yeah, still doing gigs.
But the goal is for this to grow big enough?
I've never really thought about it. I'm just probably living the moment a lot with a lot of stuff I do. Like I just like continue on, and like chipping is like I love it. Like since I was 10 years old, my old man's been in the building industry for like 40 years. It was like in the car, this is me, and never would like I talk about like pinch yourself moments. The bloke I work with always laughs at. He's like, you always say that. I'm like, but it is like I never. Yeah. If 5 years ago you said to me I'd be sitting at CMC Rocks 2025 interviewing people I don't know from over in Nashville, all that sort of stuff, I wouldn't have even thought that ever. So it's just like one of it would have just been like, that's never going to happen. Yeah. So then it sort of goes to like, I'm just in the moment doing all this stuff, but in the back of my head I probably need to start thinking, all right, this is getting full on, like what am I going to do? Because I'll just work.
Well, you also have a family.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I always say to people, like, I get to spend so much time with my family. I'll work all day, but when I walk in the door of a night time, it is pretty much like, radio, like kids. Away. Yeah, kids. Let's get them fed. Let's get them in bed. Once they're in bed, then it's just back to work again for me. And I've always been like that. I'm a very busy person. The boys always pick on me saying I have ADHD, but I don't. That I know of. Undiagnosed, the boys say, because I'm just like flat out all the time. I just don't stop. So, it's something that probably starts to become goals that we put on the board that like radio is something we want to do full time.
This can be full time.
Yeah.
And then you'll be pursuing your music career as well full time.
Yeah. It's good because it's a country music podcast. It sort of goes hand in hand.
Sure.
And there's so many things like event management and stuff that like when I ran Kingston Rodeo with all the other guys there, that was something I loved. Like I was like, you know, you're in there on the Thursday setting up Friday, you don't sleep the Friday, you don't sleep the Saturday night, and like you have all the bulls, everything, you do everything, and then you're packed up on the Sunday, like that adrenaline for that whole weekend. And then it's once a year and it's gone. You're like, like this, like so stuff like that. Maybe if I ever did go full time, I'd still do chippy stuff just to keep my brain just like ticking. Yeah. But like event management or like there's always going to be podcast stuff. Last weekend we were lucky enough to actually MC at Meatstock. The beard mow,
that's awesome.
mullet comp and that. So to get on stage, it was really funny. I'm like a very talkative person in here.
I couldn't tell.
I get I get out there in front of everyone and I was like, walked into this room and I thought this stage was just going to be everyone just walking past the stage at Meatstock. There won't be that many people in there. We walked in this room, there's like probably 2,000 people in there all seated and I was just like, I was like,